I've let them know. They're not fussed. They understand. They get it. Oh, can't believe we missed that. Oh God. Yeah, he was. It's a bit weird. It's like I'm watching the world's biggest delayed Japanese TV program ever. I've got commentary, and I'm watching the YouTube because I can't see anything else to watch the race. So I know what's gonna happen. I know what's gonna happen. There we go. I'm watching and I've got like a 30-second delay. It's like I'm able to see into the future. Ah, it's alright, but I didn't want to ruin your vibe. Oh, Mike, Wes is saying that he doesn't hear you.
Oh, there we are. Just even more fun. The audio stopped working, but I've just refreshed it. I've just refreshed it, and it's working again now. So we're having hours of fun here. Hours of fun. Yeah. Oh, sorry guys. OBS, Streamlabs software that I use. Sorry, Streamlabs. It just completely died, and it's reset half the settings and stuff. So, including apparently my audio, which should now be back on. So thank you, Wes, for letting us know that I've been talking to myself and only myself for the last 8 minutes. But there we go. At least now we know. So anyway, apologies, folks. This stream software completely crashed, which is why we've had to set up a new stream, and also. It reset a load of my settings, so I'm doing my best to get it back. And thank you for letting us know we had no audio, but hopefully now we do have audio, and we can just crack on and hopefully have a better race 2 than we've had race 1, because this has been an absolute disaster in terms of stream. Probably the worst luck I've ever had. But there we go. So let's recap then. Graham Morris currently out in first on his own. Nice lonely race, but he'll be really glad that he's made the switch to that Ferrari, because he looks really at home in it, and he finds himself out in front by 10 seconds from Josh Evans, who is there in second.
Wes is just saying that he did make a tiny bit of contact with Michael, and he got a puncture after that, so his race was ruined after a couple of corners on that opening lap.
Okay, that makes a little bit more sense to us now. It's always good to get these insights. Obviously, we usually don't get them until towards the end of the race, obviously. But it's always good to get. And just jumping on board with Foster, see if he's having any action while we watch this battle for second place, which is a 4-way battle for it. Proper exciting stuff. Foster on his own. Barnard, I don't think ever went live, so Moody's on his own, Miller's on his own, Morris is on his own, so we'll just go back to the race only and not worry about it. And we'll hope for better luck for race 2. So, yeah, I mean, Evans under tons of pressure here, but we saw in race 2, didn't we, at Watkins Glen, that he doesn't really feel pressure when he had Foster right behind him for the entire race.
Ice cold blood flowing through those veins.
I said, what's cooler than being cool?
Ice cold.
All right. I would say, okay, no, ladies, let's be fair, there's probably none watching. I certainly wouldn't tune in to listen to this nonsense. But what I would tune into is this fantastic race that we're watching. If only it wasn't for all the technical issues, I'm sure we would have had some fantastic entertainment. You know, I'm wondering what happened to all these drivers and why all these positions have changed and everything else. And it's, yeah, all good fun. I think Foster, Tonks and Barnard have all had a bit of a to and fro according to this, but I'm just looking.
He was P14, wasn't he? And now they've all moved up a position. I don't know if I'm making that up.
Yeah, possibly. It just showed that they were battling, and
Barnard and Tonks are going at it, like.
Yeah, they are. So maybe it's just another wonderful glitch that we've got to look forward to. But Barnard and Tonks are proper close together. Barnard probably on pace, the faster of the two drivers, on raw pace. But yeah, the standings never lie, as they say. You are where you deserve to be, and he'll battle away for that 11th position right to the end, I'm sure, but still pretty close between all those drivers vying for second position. Evans right down to Ash Humphreys, so we'll keep an eye on those battles as well. It's a shame we haven't got Barnard's stream, because that would make good entertainment right about now. But
oh, he's definitely got the run. Wes has already gone defensive for turn 1.
Very true.
Surely this
is
is just a case of Oh, right around the outside. He's outbraked himself, though.
He was way
Okay,
later
switch
on the
back.
brakes. You can see trying everything possible, wasn't he, just to try and make that stick. And probably a little bit of frustration kicking in as the time ticks away. The laps are ticking away as well. There's a lot less.
Oh, Wes really wide.
He is really wide.
This is going to be scary. This is not the place to be side by side.
And I think he thought better of it. He must have heard you in his headphones there and thought, you know what, I'm not even going to try it. Because if you're off camber on the outside part of that circuit, it is absolutely Death City.
Evans in P3.
There's been a bit of contact according to the system. Let's just take a quick look and see. So Evans going wide, just a little love tap there, nothing too serious, but Evans went wide, and that allowed Reed to make that move, and Reed now up into second place. Fantastic stuff. Great close racing from those guys, but Evans now back down to third. I'm sure he'll be frustrated with that. Just as we said, he was cool under pressure. He's under tons of pressure now. It's commentator's curse. Literally the epitome of it. But under tons of pressure now. Could it be the McLaren, which obviously we didn't see a lot of running of on Tuesday's racing? Could it be the McLaren is the one car that really struggles with the tyres around here, and that's why Evans' pace is dropping off towards the end here? Could that be the case, I guess?
Yeah, could easily be the case. And I think you've got to think, if this race was 20 minutes long, it'd be an easy podium for Josh and double the distance. And look at what's happened. Under pressure for fourth, and Kingston and Asher in the same picture as well. You know, Lloyd's clearly gapped Josh now, which shows the difference in pace. So just goes to show, you know, it can literally boil down to being 2-3 minutes out on your strategy, and it's an absolute disaster. You can lose 4 or 5 places if you're not careful.
Indeed, we did miss Barnard getting past Tonks. That did happen in the end, but we may well see Foster, who's swarming all over the back of that BMW. Oh, and Tonks.
Oh yes,
super
nice
deep,
back.
super deep from Tonks, and Foster just keeping it nice and clean. He has. He's made contact and he's taken the position back. He's getting a little flash there from the Honda.
Give it all you can.
Morris has just started the last lap of the race, so we'll just pull up his stream so you can see the leader as he crosses the line to take his first victory of the season and his second victory in final drive sim racing after a reverse grid victory at Spa-Francorchamps. This will be the first one that he's won on outright pace, Aaron. You know, not cursing him, he's still got a few corners to go, but yeah, I mean, I'm sure he'll be absolutely over the moon, won't he?
Yeah, and arguably a contender for driver of the race.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to argue against him, really, isn't it? Sorry, I've opened up my spreadsheet there by accident.
It's okay.
You know, that wasn't intentional.
Lamborghini's dropped to 10th. I think I saw someone dramatically fall through the order. Don't know how true that is, though. Tickner.
Yeah, that is true.
I don't know if that was the game freaking out, because I seem to feel like he was always 10th.
Yeah, I think he was about this. I've honestly lost track. We've had so many glitches and issues.
Yeah.
I don't know what day of the week it is at the moment. I really don't. But there we go. So back to this battle for the podium then, as we come towards the end of this race. You can see Morris just coming around the last corner there in the bottom left hand corner of your screens, and he's about to cross the line to take victory. There we go, victory for Morris. He wins his second race, his first one of the season. Lloyd Reed about to come home in second. Evans does make it home on the podium in the end in third. Wellborn fourth. Kingston in fifth. Ash Humphreys in sixth. Great drive from him. Dahan seventh. Made loads of progress, and there were six places, I believe. Matty Heaton with a fantastic 8th place. Scott Balseeley with 9th. I'm sure he'll be disappointed after running in the top 3. Darren Tickner comes home in 10th place, a good top 10 finish. Luke Barnard in 11th, Bat Tonks in 12th, Adam Foster 13th. We'll look forward to the post-race interviews to find out what happened to Foster. Artis Miller's going to come home in 14th. Alex McGee going to come home in 15th place. Dan Stevens in 16th. Alan Davis in 17th. Rich Arnold in 18th. Though he's still under pressure here towards the end from Zuba Patel. It's going to be proper close over the line.
All right to the line.
Oh, he's got him! He's got him on the line!
Oh, hey!
I mean, it's for the difference between 3 points and 4 points, but still, he got him on the line. Absolutely brilliant. Got him on the line. Zuba Patel takes 18th. Rich Arnold 19th. Simpson in 20th, and then everyone else a non-finisher. So just the top 20 finish the race. But yeah, there we go. Graham Morris with a fantastic victory. And there we go. So now we need to, I'm hoping this is going to work after all the glitches we've had. No, it's not working properly, is it? Because it's not got the right part of the screen. So let me do that. There we go. It has now got the right part of the screen. So I'm now going to do our random number generator and see where we end up in terms of how many drivers outside of the top 5 who definitely can't qualify also can't qualify. So this will be anything between 5 and 10. So let's do our random number generator and see where our numbers end up, and we will get a number for you very, very shortly. It's just winding down, and it's 10. So the top 10 can't qualify.
Yes.
Wow.
The top 10.
Good.
Yeah, so that's Adam Foster. He's just going to relay that back to the drivers. The top 10 can't qualify for this race, meaning everybody outside the top 10 can. And with such a big grid on such a tight track, that's hugely important information.
I'll be back for a chat. I'll be back.
Okay.
No trouble at all. So there we go. That is what is happening there. The top 10 can't qualify. Just to reiterate, it's always the top 5, and then it's anything between 5 and 10 drivers can't qualify. And the random number generator has ended on 10, as you can see there. So that means that we will have the 10 fastest drivers out there all starting at the back of the grid for this second race, Aaron. I mean, that's going to be proper exciting stuff.
Yeah, and I think we're definitely going to see a... Well, actually, we might not see a surprise winner because Adam's still able to qualify, but we might see a surprise podium at least, and surprise drivers in the top 5 who we definitely wouldn't have seen before.
Indeed, that is very, very true.
Give it all you can.
I see Mr. Morris has managed to join us in the chat as well.
He has?
It's not your first victory, but that's probably got to be your most satisfactory victory that you've had with the league. Congratulations, mate, and take us through it.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, that's the first one I've won on genuine pace. I mean, I in a couple of seasons ago, I won it because a couple had mistakes. Well, Adam had a mistake in that, but yeah, honestly, my heart's still going. You never want to be when you've got that lead. You've got half an hour to go. It's felt like a lifetime. You don't want to throw that away with a stupid mistake. So, yeah, I'm super happy with that. Pace was awesome.
Yeah. Anything from you, Az?
No, pretty much. You asked the question that I wanted to ask, so...
Yeah, I wouldn't have got Adam before that. I was stuck a second behind. I don't know if he was just managing his tyres or whether I was pushing him. I don't know. I'll have to ask him afterwards. But when he made that mistake, that was it. I was like, oh my god, I've got half an hour to go.
Yeah, well, we didn't see what happened because we had an entire system glitch, so we had to restart.
Yeah.
So we missed about 8 minutes, and when we logged back in, he suddenly had gone, which was a bit of a surprise. But I mean, is it just make the best of this second race now? And you're going to be starting in last place, 25-car grid, absolutely packed track. Nowhere to overtake. Is it just a case of hope for the best and pick off people who make mistakes?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, my night's done. I've got to win. I'm absolutely over the moon. Anything could happen in this one. It wouldn't matter. So I'm just gonna race for fun now and see what happens. I was in right at the back. Watch for the concertina. It's gonna be upgoing right at the back, obviously, especially on the first couple of laps. Try and just get as many positions as I can.
Yeah. good luck, but again, huge congratulations. Like you say, first one won on genuine pace and superb drive, so well done, mate.
Thanks, guys. Might see you later. Might speak to you after.
Yeah, we'll speak to you later on, no doubt. And
Cheers,
so,
guys.
thanks very much.
No problem.
Any other drivers, Aaron?
No, that's it.
In that case, we
That is
can crack on. Any comments to comment on in the comment section of the comment part of YouTube? Comment? I wanted to say comment one more time.
No comments on the comment part of YouTube. Comment. I did have a little bit of a back and forth with Wes, but nothing major. He's just, I think he's just a bit gutted about that first race.
Understandable. Frustrating when you work at it all week, and then 6 corners
This is the
in
beauty.
or whatever.
This
Yeah.
is the beauty of sprints, though. It's very much redeemable with a good bounce back in this second race.
It is. It's all about, as Ian Dowie would say, your bounce back ability. Which,
Yep.
is
We always learn more from making mistakes and from winning, don't we? So
we certainly do. And so less than 5 minutes to go then. So these guys are all now on the first hot lap, if you like. At the moment, it is showing us that Ben Simpson would be pole sitter based on its current calculations. But we've seen it make mistakes before, so let's not take anything for granted. I hope for his sake that he is on pole position, but I'm not going to assume that anything that flashes purple is true anymore after it told us earlier on that somebody was going to be on pole and they ended up 12th. So I think this
it was Tom
glitches.
Denman, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. Glitches all over the place today. It's just a bad day at the office, and it literally is my office. I work here as well because I work from home, so using all the same equipment, but well, different,
Nice flex.
different computer. Well, yeah, strange flex. I don't know why I mentioned that, but it just said office and realised it is actually my office. But there we go. Once
Do
again,
you walk downstairs and play the office theme as you get to your desk?
I don't walk downstairs. I strut.
Like a boss.
Like a boss. So here we go. Foster about to cross the line and set the first meaningful time we will have had, which is a 35.7. I suspect that's going to be pretty hard to beat for pole position. Alex McGee with a 37.1. Bakehouse currently with a 35.8, so he's in second. So he's a challenger for pole. That's a decent lap there from Wes. No doubt driving a little bit angry after the disappointment of that opening race. Once again, it's doing that thing where the numbers are not in order and everybody's a bit tossed all over the place at the moment. So I think
I will say, Mike, on Tuesday it was dramatically cooler to race 1 in the second race, so that could be a big factor in this second race and qualifying.
it could, very, very true. I can't recall what the temperature was for race 1 because we've had so many issues, but it is currently 19 degrees, but I want to say it was closer to 30, like 28, 29 for race 1. I could be wrong, but that seems to be in my head. But at the moment, it is 19 degrees track temperature up there, so yeah, my colleague is right, that will have a bit of an impact on.
The sun was hugely blinding as well.
Yeah, as it comes down, of course, it'll be more and more blinding, and that'll impact different drivers differently as well, depending on what view they use. Some use cockpit view, it could be worse. If people are using bonnet view, it might be not so bad due to the angles. It all depends. But we're sticking with Bakehouse here because he's coming towards the end of the lap. He's currently showing as purple, which means that he would take provisional pole position. There is again his flash purple, and he does go on to provisional pole position. So Adam Foster down to second now.
Ash has just commented saying that race 1 started at 20 and rose all the way to 25 degrees.
There we go. Okay, that is good information. Thank you for that, Ash. I'm sure we did have it at one point, but with all the glitches and the restart, I'm a bit lost. Literally, I haven't got a clue what's going on here. So interesting looking at Barnard, they actually fastest in Sector 3, so he's currently in third. Third position overall, but fastest in Sector 3, so he's definitely got the pace there. You could see him challenging for pole position here. Only 3/10 off at the moment, so we'll see how that goes. So I realised I needed to change that to session best relative. There we go. That is more like it. But don't let me forget to change that back to race gaps in a couple of minutes' time. So basically, there's less than a minute to go now, so anybody who is on a lap can complete it. Foster's just coming up to complete a lap. He's not showing as purple at the moment, but that's because Wes Beekhouse is improving further on his time. But this might actually put Adam on provisional pole, and I think it will. It does. It puts him on provisional pole, but currently Beekhouse is still improving on his time again, which will put him on pole. And I'm sure Adam will be frustrated that suddenly Wes has found this pace. And yeah, there we go. Wes Beekhouse for 35.3. And up he goes on to provisional pole. According to mine, they've set the same lap time.
I think there's 2/10 in it. I think Ad's was a 35.5 and Wes's was a 35.3. I might be wrong though.
Oh no, you are right. Sorry, it's because it's glitching and the times are moving around. It had Wes's time in both boxes, which was a bit strange. So I'm trying to keep an eye on who's where, but it's just all over the place. So Thomas Edmond in 4th at the moment. Great effort from him. McGee in 5th. Dan Stevens is in 11th. Damien Humphreys. I don't think Damien was in race 1, was he?
He was. I think he was.
Seeing him.
I know Ash was.
Yeah, Ash definitely was, but I don't remember seeing Damo. I thought perhaps he was late and maybe he joined for race 2. Maybe he was there and just with all the glitches I've just forgotten he existed. Maybe, I don't know. Miller's in 7th, so I'm just waiting for all these drivers finishing now and then we'll get an idea of the grid once it's all sorted itself out. But yeah, it's a bit all over the place, unfortunately, because of the way this glitches in between race 1 and race 2, but there's nothing that we can do about it, unfortunately. But there we go. So, I think that is that, isn't it?
Yes.
I think everybody
We are
gone.
currently joined by Adam in the comms box. Ad, we sadly missed a good chunk of the stream for whatever reason. It just pooed itself.
Okay.
So we left and you were in the lead, and we joined and you were P14. So what the hell happened? What did we miss?
Turn 3, Honda doing Honda things.
Oh,
Back end
no.
just snapped, and that was it. And then 2 laps later, done the same thing again. Luckily, I didn't hit the wall or anything. Didn't end up with any damage, but tyres were just shot, absolutely shot. So I had no confidence.
Left out of the traction, or was it even before that?
I think it was. I don't know, as I shift down the gear, it just, I don't know, it starts to slide, but it normally slides, and I'm happy with that. But this one, that tiny little bit over the threshold, and just goes and goes again. It's like slow motion.
Yeah,
Foot on the brake, like, don't hit the wall. Hope no one's coming.
It's a clumsy spin that's like unsavable, isn't it? It's so frustrating.
Yeah, and then me and Bart had a touch going down the straight.
Yeah, we saw that. We caught that.
Not sure what happened there, whether I was going right, he was coming left, but he pulled out to defend and I stayed straight. And then, I don't know. I have to watch the replay. Unless you guys saw it.
We did. I think we did catch it. We caught something anyway. We caught a bit of contact. It was in like the middle sector.
That was just a tiny little bump. That was, the smallest touches. No damage whatsoever from the touch. But this was down the main straight.
I don't think we caught that one.
Yeah.
You must be a little bit gutted though to not get pole.
I keep messing up, don't I? I keep messing up, and I
Wes
just missed that on pole.
Out of nowhere.
No, Wes. It's not from nowhere. Wes is good. He knows what he's doing. So I'm happy. But last time Wes was in front of me, what was it? Season 2. I ended up bumping him, didn't I? So
yeah.
Don't
do that.
No.
I can see it's a lot darker than what it was on Tuesday. I think qualifying
was 10 p.m.
Yeah, so I was telling Mike how cool it got, so this is only going to be even cooler. Is this going to aid the Honda and aid the tyre wear situation? Because I think
tyre wear, the cooler conditions, it should help with the tyre wear a bit. And it's only 20 minutes, and my tyres only started going. Where's this guy going? Sorry. I said to stay behind your car, but yeah. 20 minutes. My tyres started going after about 15 to 18 minutes in that last race, so hopefully I don't have no Honda incidents again.
Yeah, fingers crossed, mate. Fingers crossed. Mike, I don't know if you want to ask anything or if all bases are covered.
No, all good, all good. And
cheers, lads.
Yeah, we'll see you in a bit.
Well, fingers crossed you have a better one, mate.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Thank you.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, we never like to see drivers spinning out, but there we go. These things do happen. So the time screens have sorted themselves out now. So we'll just have a quick run through of who finished where. Now we can actually see, because that glitch between races, they've got to sort that out because it's absolutely annoying. But anyway, Beerkhouse then from Foster, Barnard third, great quality for him. Thomas Denman, absolutely fantastic fourth position. Alex McGee in the Jag. Fantastic job in fifth. Rich Arnold in sixth. I'm sure he'll be hoping to make amends after driving almost the perfect race until a couple of laps till the before the end. Artis Miller's in seventh. Bart Tonks in eighth. Michael Mooney in ninth. Damien Humphreys in 10th. Simpson 11th. Alan Davis is in Dan Stevens in 12th. Alan Davis in 13th. Sorry, the drivers are all jumping around a little bit on here a minute while they warm their tyres up. Then you've got Prescott, Balseeley, Heaton, Dehaan, and then you've got your top guys then as well of Evans, Tickner, Humphreys, Kingston, Wellborn, Reed, Morris, and Zuba Patel's at the back for some reason when he probably shouldn't be, based on the reverse grid situation, but maybe there's a little bit of confusion out there as to what is happening. Yes, I mean, I don't know about you, Aaron, but I'm kind of expecting a straight fight between Foster and Beerkhouse for the win on this one, but as proven, even the alien that is Adam Foster is capable of making mistakes in that Honda.
Yeah, and I think that's the one thing I found with the Honda when we drove at Kyle Army. I could drive 95% of the time fine, and then there'd just be a stupid 5% that would come from nowhere, and I just couldn't risk it, and it kept biting me in the ass. So just shows that everyone's susceptible to mistakes, as I think the lights go green and we are racing down to Tarzan. He's got the jump on Wes.
He's got a much better start, and through he goes into the lead. I mean, Wes did not get the best of start there. Perhaps he was half asleep, but he did not get a good start, and there we go. Foster through into first position, and that will have been exactly what he would have wanted, even if he didn't quite expect it to happen so early on. Sorry, the timing screens are jumping around all over the place again as these guys all try to get themselves into position. We're going to move over to Morris's stream and watch him as he tries to make his way through the field.
So Humphreys, just on Morris's stream. Sorry, Mike.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely fine. It is Ash Humphreys. He's gone to the back, so he's had
side by side. Look at that on Morris's POV. That's so good. Watching it
awesome
live anyway,
but
yeah, very good.
Very good. Bit of an accident there. Morris just avoiding an accident, and that's Scott Balseeley again in trouble. So let's pop back and see if we can see what happened to Scott. This is a replay, guys. Sorry, I've forgotten to press the overlay. So Balseeley battling away. Oh, contact.
Oh, it's Kevin Dehaan.
Contact from Kevin Dehaan. Oh, and then he's taken out Wellborn as well. Oh, that's a bad day at the office. For Kevin Dehaan there, causing two accidents in two corners. I mean, I say that. I mean, I'm sort of taking the thing that he turned in on Scott there. I don't know if you agree, but that's certainly how I saw it.
I agree.
Yeah, bit of a shame. But there we go. Back to the live action, and Adam Foster then leading from Wes. Wes clearly looking to make amends after being very unhappy with the result of that race win. All three of these leading drivers, actually all four, because Denman had an issue as well when he went off. All four of them spinning out at some point and either not finishing the race or finishing way down the order compared to where they were running and qualified. So all 4 of them with a point to prove, and obviously with it being a much shorter race, less room for error again, and they just need to keep it clean and simple.
Yes, fingers crossed they kind of don't. I want a bit of action, but I tell you what, Adam must have made a little bit of a mistake, because Wes all of a sudden has just creeped way back. He's going to have a much better run here. Oh, around the outside in that terrible trenchy chicane. Could be 3 wide here. Barnard's joining the action. Is he going to pull out? No, he stays behind. Adam defending on the inside line. Oh, side by side with Wes. This could open the door for Barnard, who just needs a tight exit. And they're going to be side by side. Oh, Barnard's wide. Barnard's wide. Wes takes back P2. Can Denman sneak it up the inside? No, he can't. It's back to how it was. But for a split second there, it looked like anybody could take the lead and anybody could have been second and third. But Barnard now finds himself under pressure from Denman, who could send it up the inside, but I think he's just a little bit too far back, and I will take a chill pill now.
Yeah, that was proper close, proper exciting stuff. And,
McGee spun!
It's a spin from McGee, and he's right at the wrong part of the circuit that you don't want to be spun at there.
He's going to have to watch it. Oh, I think someone was about to T-board him there.
I think
It looked like Simpson.
I think Arnold might have made a bit of contact with him, because he's showing that he has there. But Rich Arnold with a faster slap at the moment with a 36.8. That shows how tight it is out there. Rich Arnold currently setting the faster slap. So back to the battle at the front, and still proper close then between these guys. And just keeping an eye on Morris's stream as well, because he's got himself up to 14th already now, and on the verge of being in the top 10. Just a couple of drivers ahead of him, so keep an eye on that. I was going to say he was ahead of behind a different driver, but he wasn't. It's just that Mooney's overtaken Prescott, and Prescott now under pressure from what is that? Kingston's got himself past DeHaan, but I can't find the replay button. It's disappeared. There it is. So let's have a look at Kingston as he battles away with DeHaan.
DeHaan will be carrying a little bit of damage from that contact with Scott Warney.
Yeah,
so I wonder if this is just a little bit, nice
understeer.
easy switch back.
Yeah, indeed. And Humphreys has got past Millers as well, but I don't think we're going to catch that, because I think the replay will end before that happens. It has, just typically, but unfortunately we've missed that. But Humphreys, just to confirm, is up to 7th. Damien Humphreys, that is, and up past Millers. Josh Evans has got past Dan Stevens. So let's just take a quick look at that one, see if we can catch it. Down into turn 1. Evans again with a switchback, forcing the other driver to brake later, forcing him wide. A nice switchback, and through he goes up into 10th position. So a good drive so far from Josh. Plenty of action in this second race. Absolutely loads going on. We're still watching. Mooney's now up to 11th, and he's got past Stevens as well, following Evans Drew. And the Morris stream, you can see in the bottom left hand corner, is just behind all of this, so it's all happening. There's such a gaggle of cars, there's so much going on. Yeah. Kingston has got past Morris though during that, so we can see that on his stream as well. So they're all sort of battling away with DeHaan getting really close there to Morris, and Morris losing quite a few positions there, and he was making really good progress, but he seems to have just sort of got caught out a little bit there, and now under pressure from Ash Humphreys as well. And Kingston putting pressure on
Paul going on the weave very quick there.
Just finding Mooney's stream. There we go. So watch Mooney as he tries to make progress up now to the back of Josh Evans, with Josh Evans no slouch. Prescott and Kingston battling away here.
Definitely feels like Stevens and Prescott are the cork in the bottle for a seemingly endless flow of wine there. But I could tell you what, this just proves our point of how difficult is it to overtake. You know, these guys who were clearly capable of lapping in P3, P4, P5 territory, struggling to get past Dan and Paul, who by no means, you know, they're not slow, but nowhere near as quick.
Big mistake from Prescott. Big mistake from Prescott.
How did he save that?
Oh, but he's come back on to make contact. Oh, Morris has won. It's all happening. It's all happening. What's happened to Morris? So we need to take a look at the replay there, because that has just gone all kinds of wrong. Let's jump on the helicam and have a look at how that looked. Oh, where's he gone? From Morris's point of view, so you've got the Mercedes is currently off the track and about to come back on, and a poor re-entry there makes contact with Ash, and then Morris just loses the back end, and Lloyd Reed makes contact with him. Oh, mistakes kicking in now, but that's how the cookie crumbles, as they say.
I'm just really sorry for screaming. I could not contain myself. That was just my pure reaction.
You get as excited as you want to get, my friend.
Contact
more contact again. Is all happening here. Rich Arnold really close to the back of Bart Tonks. Just keep an eye. Rich having a much better race so far. Still not quite at the halfway point yet. So
Wes close to Adam as well.
Wes is close, he's keeping pressure on. So keep an eye on Mooney's stream at the bottom there as he looks to keep up with Evans and break into the top 10 as well. They got Alan Davis and Artis Miller's ahead of those. So that'll bunch up, I think, as well. They're on the back of Damien Humphries, who's currently in 7th position. And it's all happening out there, but nice and close between these guys. But Bart Tonks at the moment just with enough pace to keep that Honda at bay. The Honda does appear to be a little happier in these colder conditions in the evening.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit better at switching its tyres on, isn't it? But in the hot conditions, that can almost be a downfall. Just
seeing a replay here of Kingston, and again he's forcing drivers to make mistakes and just picking. It seems like he's he's such a good racer, isn't he? He is able to pick different lines and pick one that works for him, really, for the situation he's in. So you know, he's creating his own luck there.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's what you got to do in these second races. You kind of have to manipulate the guy in front of you to putting the car in an unnatural position. Otherwise, they'll just make you go the long way around, and it's impossible to get past, especially around here.
Yeah, we see Bakehouse and Foster were pretty much side by side through that turn 3 for a moment there, but Bakehouse has thought better of it, just backed out a little bit. Josh Evans has got past Alan Davis. Let us just take a quick look at that replay and see what happened there. We've missed it. And it's gone. Which is a shame, but we're just keeping an eye on Mooney's stream in the bottom left hand corner, because he's coming up to the back of Davis now. He's been following Evans through the field, and you can see he's getting proper close to the back of Alan Davis there as we watch. Artis Miller's still battling away here with Damien Humphries. Artis having a really, really good race here, and so far, really, even though Humphries has overtaken him, he seems to have kept with him and been able to challenge him, which is really, really good to see. I think there's been contact. Oh, there has been contact.
No.
There's been a spin. We can see on the stream as well.
No.
We don't know what's happened. Let's take a look at the replay. And so this is from Alan Davis's.
I'm going to call it a massive curb moment. Oh, Michael just got his braking point all wrong. Oh, man. That's unlucky. It's always Alan as well. We always joke, don't we? But it is always Alan who has something wrong.
The poor thing does not have a lot of luck. And there we go. Let's jump on board with Miller's next. So we've got Miller's stream here. And he's chasing down Damien Humphries at the moment, so we'll keep that in the background there as well as we watch Rich Arnold return to this battle with Bart Tonks Rich looking confident, definitely on the attack in this race, isn't he?
Yeah, good to see really, because I think he was lacking a little bit of confidence, it seemed, just speaking on the back of qualifying. So what's happened to where's he? Barnard's through, and all of a sudden there's a swap for P2.
Yeah, so we'll just take a look at the replay because it looked like he was trying to battle with Foster, and then so I think Foster must make a mistake, and he almost backs Wes then into Barnard. So
oh, he had to get out of it, didn't he? He had to get out of it. He was so much later on the brakes.
yeah,
That's it. Barnard
and,
straight through.
and that's cost him the position. So there we go. That is what it is.
He'll be sad.
He will, but
He
great.
will be annoyed.
Great from Barnard. I mean, he's just stuck there, isn't he, on the back of these guys and kept them under pressure for this entire thing. I mean, we kind of talked about Bierkhaus and Foster walking away with it, and it was no disrespect to Barnard, but as we've said in previous weeks, he's only had his PC 2 weeks, he's getting used to it. I just wasn't expecting him to be able at this point to compete, but he certainly can. He's right on the back of Foster now as well.
Absolutely smashing it. It's not took him, excuse me, it's not took him long to adapt at all. I suppose, yeah, he's got the knowledge of the game, but we both know ourselves the difference from PC to console, even with a shared game, can be huge. So to be challenging a two-time champion and challenging him respectfully as well, it's good to see. It's what we live for. It's what the people want.
It is, and I think we're about to see a PDF move down into turn 1.
I see. It's around the outside as well. Wow.
Not quite
two Trailer
PDF.
Park Girls.
Yeah.
That's almost I don't know what would be the elite version of PDF.
Well, it's an M&M move, not a PDF move. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like I say, he went round the outside, so absolutely fantastic. Great racing from Wellborn as he fights his way through the field in this slightly chaotic race 2. But here we go, back then to the race for the lead. So as exciting as all the action is, the race for the lead is probably the closest battle on track between more than one car.
Good run. A very good run.
Yeah,
Adam defending.
Adam knows exactly where to place the car. Adam Foster and Barnard trying to go around the outside. Very respectful racing from the two of them. Barnard did have the position very, very temporarily, according to the GPSs. But I mean, realistically, he was never going to make that stick around the outside unless Foster made a mistake. But these three basically glued together at this point. So close. Absolutely unbelievable stuff. Wellborn and Tahan battling away in the background as well. Oh, there's been some contact between those two, but Wellborn has just nudged his way through. We'll just quickly take a look at the replay before we go back to the live action. You can see so much action in this race. You can see all the cars behind weaving around and battling away. But there we go, Wellborn getting past. So back now to the battle for the lead. And just popping onto Morris's stream there as he's battling away and following Dan Stevens now. But these guys still battling for the win. I mean, based on what we're seeing, Foster not exactly out there, super comfortable. So any one of these three drivers could win the race in this next 5 minutes.
Yeah, this is just the case of for Adam, I suppose, just keeping the thing on the flipping tarmac. Just all he has to do is not dramatically slower than Barnard or Tonks, but he just to say is enough slower for them to be threatening. So he just needs to have a clever car placement, make sure he gets those exits right, and he should hang on for the next couple of minutes. Yeah,
I mean, you'd think so, but then
we've seen strange things happen, haven't we?
We have, and the Honda is a bit of a law into itself in terms of snap.
Oh, Bart had a big moment there.
He did have a big moment. Let's just take a look at the replay. We'll jump on helmet cam with Bart, see what it looked like from the driver's point of view. This is a replay of Bart coming out of turn 3, and Yeah.
Oh, on the marbles a little bit.
Proper
Just shows how
oversteering.
slippy it is.
It does,
Yeah.
indeed. They say those marbles do cause such a problem. Morris has got past Dan Stevens. You've seen that in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, and he's now chasing after Kevin DeHaan. It's great to have these different angles and these different drivers' views to look at. It's certainly keeps it entertaining for us, and and able to see more than one thing at a time, which is always cool. Miller's has got past Humphreys. Oh, Humphreys
Oh,
with an issue.
Humphreys is round.
I don't know what happened there. That was a very strange one. We will take a look at the replay and see if we can make sense of that, because that looked really strange. So here he is. He's just been overtaken by Millers. He's on the power coming up the corner. Oh, he got a little wide there, yeah, and just got a tank slapper on, and that was it. It looked really strange when we just cut to it, didn't it? It looked like he was just sort of fishtailing out of nowhere, but it wasn't out of nowhere. It was out of somewhere. But Tonks and Arnold still battling away for that 5th position. This battle's been going on for pretty much the entire race. The battle for the lead has died off a little bit as Barnard and Beerhouse have both dropped off a little bit from Foster, but we will of course keep an eye on it, watching the battle for 5th position. Bart Tonks, the Dutchman, on his home circuit, is in 5th and keeping the Honda NSX number 24 of Richard Arnold just behind him.
I suppose the question is he flying? See what I did there, Flying Dutchman? Me all week, folks, every Thursday.
Well, you know, we are missing Luke, so we needed a dad joke or two.
Someone has to do the dad joke.
Someone's got to do the dad joke. So that one was for you, that was Luke. So keeping an eye on Morris's stream there. You can see he's caught right up to the back of DeHaan. You can see he's right there, and there's not much between them. So could be an overtake there in the bottom left-hand corner for you guys very, very shortly. Ash Humphreys battling away with Dan Stevens for 14th place as well. And there's been a fair few bumps and scrapes in this race, isn't there? Kind of the nature of the beast, really, with a reverse grid. Such a big grid at a track like this, but it's been entertaining nonetheless. So not for us to worry about, because we don't have to deal with any incidents. What I can tell you there, we are, as you've just heard from race control, is that the leader is on the final lap of the race. So Adam Foster has crossed the line. Still Barnard in 2nd and Beerhouse in 3rd as it stands. We'll stick with this battle between these two drivers here. Number 33 of Tonks and 24 of Arnold. Oh, and it's a bit wide there from Tonks. It's given Arnold a little bit of a sniff, but he thinks better of it. Tucks in behind. Doesn't want to be offline as he comes through there. That could have easily been a bit of a slip and slide if he got his braking wrong there. That could have gone very, very wrong indeed. Artis Millers has had to go into the pits.
Oh, I wonder if he's run out of fuel.
Possibly. It could be that these guys have gone a little bit too lean. Zuba's in the pits. Damien Humphreys in the pits.
It's a very quick stop, so I think it is fuel.
Yeah, it looks like he just need 5.8 seconds. Oh, to be that little short on fuel has got to be frustrating. But the main guy he was battling obviously was Humphreys, and he'd already gone to the pits after his accident. So a shame. But Josh Evans, all of a sudden,
this is it. 3-way battle. This is, if there's going to be a move, it's got to be here.
Foster just coming to cross the line and take victory in this final race of the night, race 2, after being almost assured of victory in race 1. He didn't get it, but he has got victory in race 2. Adam Foster takes victory, and
it's a drag race.
It's a drag race to the line, but it finishes
just
how it was. He does just hold on. So Adam Foster then in 1st, Luke Barnard with an absolutely outstanding 2nd position, really challenging for victory as well. Beerhouse in 3rd. Thomas Damon comes home in 4th. Brilliant finish from him. Disappointing in race 1, but absolutely congratulations to him. That's a great finish to come home in 4th. Bart Tonks in 5th. Rich Arnold finishes in 6th. Evans in 7th. Kingston in 8th. Did well there with a lot of ballast on board. Andrew Wellborn in 9th. DeHaan in 10th. Graham Morris 11th, Tickner in 12th, Dan Stevens in 13th, Ashley Humphreys in 14th, Alan Davis in 15th, Ben Simpson in 16th, in 17th, McGee in 18th, Balseely 19th, and that was about the last of the cars running, I believe. Oh no, sorry, Miller's 20th, Lloyd Reed 21st, and Mooney in 22nd.
I will just say, Mike, I will have to cut my adventure with FDSR tonight short because I have a weekend event to pack for, and I've not packed anything yet. So I am sadly, I can see Rich is in here, but I can't really talk about your fabulous P6, Rich. I'm gonna have to shoot. So apologies, but I'll be back fully next week.
The amazement got to you, didn't it? I can tell.
Yep, that's exactly what it was.
I'll take that.
That's exactly
Thank you.
what it was.
Yeah, lovely.
Catch you later, gentlemen, and Mike, just make sure you tell Adam congratulations for me.
I will. So cheers, Aaron. Thank you very much. Good to see you as always, and I'll see you next week for next week's race. But just getting everything sorted here and getting all these.
That's what you want on stream, isn't it? That you come on your own and then everyone runs away.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want. We know to make you feel valued. That is for sure.
I'm still here. I'm just getting a beer. Priorities and all that.
Just sorting out all of my screens and getting rid of what I don't need. So bear with me just a moment, everyone, while I sort everything out. And don't need that one. Don't need that one. Don't need that one. I do need that one. Right, where's it gone? Why isn't it there? Is that it? No, that's not it. There it is. Sorry, I couldn't get that working there for some reason, but
it's a quality production here at FDSR.
As always, mate.
First sign of madness, that one.
I talk to myself because no one else will. Sorry about that. But just a slight the tech issues we've had tonight have been hours of fun. It's been entertaining to say the least. Just trying to get the stream up and running again after it crashed in the middle. But there we go. We are joined by a number of races, so thank you all for popping in. So first over to Adam. Congratulations, great victory there, but that wasn't as easy as any of us thought it was going to be, under tons of pressure there for the entire race.
Yeah, don't know what happened to Wes at the beginning. I just got the jump on him, and Honda Power took me to the first corner first, and then I had Wes on my arse for about 10 minutes, and then Luke on my arse for about 10 minutes. It was fun. Didn't want to get the win like that. I keep messing up in race one. It's just, I really wanted to be a part of that 10 that's started at the back.
Yeah.
But it is the way it is at the moment. I needed the points, to be fair.
Yeah. I mean, it was like a super entertaining, race to watch, and it's amazing, how you guys deal with the pressure and stuff. But yeah, like I say, you've got to take what you can get, and when you've had a bad race run, you've got to make up for it in race two.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I like I said, got the jump on Wes and pushed from there. Didn't really look behind too much. I was seeing black and then green. I was like, just keep going. Luke's fine. He's not going to crash me. So, nice couple of runs around the outside in turn one, but defend the inside. It's easy.
Yeah. Keep it simple in it, Pick your place your car where it needs to be, and off you go. But well done, mate. Great win, and obviously makes up a little bit for the disappointment of race one, I'm sure.
Cheers.
Over to Luke. Luke, so fantastic second position there, and I mean, I mean this in the nicest way possible, but I kind of didn't mention you as being challenging for race one. You said you've been having a problem with the break-in and still getting to grips with the PC, so I thought he'll probably drop off a bit, but you were right there all the way through the race, so huge congratulations, mate. What's changed between last week and this week?
I don't know, it's just clicked a bit. I think I was expecting a bad race just because of the heavy braking, but no, I seemed to catch on to the braking well. But race 2 was epic. But race 1 I got caught up. I think Wes tapped somebody and I got caught up. So, but no, that was great fun. I am very sweaty.
Yeah, it's one of those tracks in it where if there's an accident in front of you, you just aren't avoiding it, are you, around that place?
No, but it was some great racing. Race 1, was it Balsi or the guy in the Honda?
Yeah.
That was awesome battle with him. He was nice and clean. Everyone was great, apart from my Bart. But sorry, Bart.
These things happen. But yeah, that second race looked really entertaining. You and Wes obviously jostling for position well, trying to keep in touch with Adam and battle for it. So I mean, that's what it's all about, and is having that respectful racing, but being able to be nose for tail for 20 minutes straight.
Yeah, I've raced them boys a lot, so it's great. It's nice to have people you can just trust, and it's great racing.
Yeah, well, congrats again, mate, and like I say, onwards and upwards, and well done, and looking forward to next week. So
thanks, GG boys.
Who am I going to go to next? That's the question. Rich. A much nicer second race than race 1.
Yes.
I mean, and to be fair, 80% of race 1 was absolute perfection, and then there's just that little that spin just happened. And I don't know if you can guess what I might have said about 30 seconds before that spin, but it was something along the lines of Rich Arnold's having a really good race, and all of a sudden you were pirouetting. But yeah, take us through it.
Yeah, it's very similar to Spa. Did 99.9% of it absolutely spot on, and then it all went wrong. No, to be fair, at least there was a reason here. My rear tyres are just completely shot. I hadn't done any sort of long practice, and I didn't realise quite how quickly they were going to grain and go off. And Matty was chasing me down for the whole race, and I'm sure he probably saw me slide in for a good few laps before it happened. I even turned my traction up. I tried to sort of counteract it a little bit, but looking at the time, and it's like there's still 10 minutes to go. This is going to be a real handful. So I wasn't completely surprised. Yes, disappointed, but I think it was coming. The tyres on that thing are just completely cooked. Race 2, I mean, one thing I will have to say, actually, race 1, I ended up having a right old battle with Zuber at the end. I mean, I had damage from the wall. Me and him wouldn't usually be sort of together, but I think we were side by side from turn 1 right the way through to the beginning of sector 3, like literally over the hill, the fast bit, the lot, side by side. Best racing I've had this season. So hats off to Zuber for that. Race 2, tyres didn't go off. It was a bit cooler, so I could really put my foot down. And hats off to Bart. He kept me behind him the whole way. I have to apologise to McGee in the Jag. I tapped him into turn 1 and spun him round. Completely my fault. He just broke a bit earlier than I expected, and the Honda just didn't stop. So it was only a light tap, but apologies to him. But that gave Bart the run on me coming out of there, and then I me and Bart were battling the whole race, and it was close. I was probably a little bit quicker than him, but he just you just can't overtake here, and his lines were just perfect every time. Couldn't pressure him into a mistake. So great race 2. Needed the points, but race 1 slightly disappointed, but wasn't unexpected, to be fair.
Yeah, well, it shows good character to be able to come back and then get that race 2 under your belt, and solid top 10 finish, on the verge of top 5. So well done, and
thank you.
Different challenge next week with the long endurance, and
yes,
yeah, very very different challenge. So do you prefer the longer ones or?
It depends where they are, really. I mean, some tracks are really quite tiring on the long ones, and some of them are fairly easy, and you can really sort of get your head down and get on with it. Silverstone's not something I've had any experience with in the Honda, so that's going to take some learning. So I'm going to have to put some time aside for that. But no, I quite like endurances. Gives you time to kind of settle in, and it's not all won and lost on one mistake or in the first few laps. You have a bad qualifying, and it's like, well, I'm not going to get anywhere near sort of thing. The long endurance, you really get a different feel to be able to sort of put a bit of strategy in and sort of catch up if there were any mistakes, and more time for other people to make mistakes. Pit stops come into it. We think it's variable weather, so there is a chance there might be a shower, but there might not be. We don't really know. So that always puts a really good mix in as well. So yeah, looking forward to it. Should be good.
Yeah, well, like I say, well done for particularly for race 2, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you very much. Catch you a bit.
Pleasure. Graham, obviously we caught up after race 1 where you were beaming. That race 2 looked absolutely hectic. That's the only word I've got for it, but it just looked bonkers. There was so much going on.
Yeah, I completely agree. It was crazy. I had no idea where to brake with the cars in front of me. I was being a bit cautious, just trying to just make no mistakes, no contact with anyone, and I was trying to just sneak the positions up. It was all going quite well. And then I had that incident with Ash. I think Paul went off on my left, so I checked up a little bit, and Ash was a bit blindsided, so he hit me then, spun me round, and then I just had to try and battle back through. There was a few good moves in there towards the end. So we got 3 cars in one lap at one point. But yeah, so much fun, and I had an awesome battle with Kevin at the end. We were switchbacking through the majority of the track, and he just held me off at the end. Yeah, super race, really good. Enjoyed the last one.
But like you say, you've got your first victory under your belt now on pure pace. So onwards and upwards, and more of the same for the rest of the season, I guess.
Yeah, it's been about 5 or 6 races where I've been so close to that top group, and it's just really nice to get out front, be pulled along by Adam for the first race until he made that mistake, and then just having to keep it in check for that last half hour with that big lead and not make any stupid mistakes and do anything embarrassing. Like so yeah, I was super happy to get the win and that I can sort of compete up there at the top.
Yeah, well done, pal, and we look forward to seeing you at Silverstone next week. Well done.
Thank you, guys. Cheers.
And I can't remember who we got in, Lloyd, it didn't seem like the smoothest of evenings for you. Race 1 looked okay, but race 2 looked a bit bananas, but I think we can say that for quite a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, race 1, absolutely, like, just over the moon with it. The move on Josh, just, Jesus. So, yeah, amazing first race, but that second race, I must admit, it's the wrong track for a sprint race in my mind. That reverse grid, people were just hitting each other all over the place, where the braking points were just crazy and stuff. And I think Wellborn broke in front of me where he sort of got past and then had to stop and then bang, straight into him. And then I think it might be Graham that I T-boned. It was a yellow-ish Ferrari, and I had to pit after that. I just literally had no turning at all. So when I come out of the pits, I think I put in the best lap of the race at that point, a 35.2. So I had the pace, but yeah, trying to fight your way through the pack when it's like 4 wide on a track that you can't even get 2 wide, it's absolute carnage. So yeah.
That first race, particularly that last sort of 10 laps was a brilliant battle, wasn't it, for that top 3?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever battled so hard. So I mean, I remember looking down at the timer, seeing about 18 minutes, and I thought, I can't carry on like this for 18 minutes. Mental. And Josh did start pulling away. Andrew started catching up with me, and then I just got my head down, started going for it, and I think Josh's tyres are probably starting to go off. So he was, I think on turn 1, he was running wide a bit, and a couple of opportunities where I was being a bit cautious, and then of course Andrew's then putting pressure on me. So it's really hard to not only fight for second, but to not lose and go into 4th, basically. But I just noticed that there was one point that Josh was a little bit slow coming out the corner, and just trying my hardest to literally get on the inside, smash through it, and yeah, amazingly pulled the move off. And I think then him and Andrew were fighting to sort of give me a bit of room to just relax a little bit and calm down. And yeah, it's certainly one of my favourite tracks, and I think that showed tonight. I mean, hats off to Graham. That pace was just unbelievable. So the consistency around here is needed. It just takes one little curb or anything to kill you. So yeah, hats off to him. But yeah, that second race, I'm just completely gutted. I had this last sprint where, a great first race, one mistake in the second race, and that's it. You just lost all your points, really. So yeah, a little bit gutted. But if I just think of the first race, absolutely phenomenal. Well happy.
Yeah. I like to say, you've got to take the positives from it, I guess, and unfortunately, these things do happen sometimes. But double points on offer next week, I believe, isn't it, for long endurance? So plenty still to play for, and but I
exactly.
understand your frustrations. But well done anyway, mate, and congrats on a great
Thank you.
first race. And like I say, it was really entertaining to watch. And we caught a fair bit. Sorry, I can't talk now. We caught a fair bit of that battle, so it's worth watching back. So well done.
Excellent. I look forward to seeing it.
Yeah. Do enjoy it, I hope. Josh, I mean, coming to you next. I mean, that again, that battle all the way through race 1 was just epic, wasn't it? So, I mean, you must be a little bit disappointed, but it looked like your tyres were just shot for that last 5 laps.
I'm actually not disappointed. I really enjoyed that race. I really like Zandvoort. Race 1, obviously, I had quite a good start. Obviously, I think I seen three people go off, so that gave me a good couple of positions. And then the battle with Lloyd all the way through, that was so much fun. I wasn't stressed or anything. I was just really enjoying it. And then my tires did go off, but obviously that's due to setup. So fair play to Lloyd, he did a better job there. I just couldn't get those tires to cool down throughout all my practice sessions. But no, I really enjoyed race 1. When Lloyd got me, it was a bit of a bummer, but that's racing. It was what it was. Race 2 then, I really enjoyed race 2 as well because I also got a good few positions. And then I was close to those, I'm not sure who they were, but I was really close to them towards the end, but they were just too quick today. I just couldn't get there in time.
Yeah, I mean,
that was me and Bart. You were catching up.
It was,
an absolute rocket ship. I kept looking at him and going, "Please don't get me," because I couldn't get round Bart, and he was holding me up. It's like,
it was so fast that we were watching Rich's battle with Bart, and we cut away only for about 20 seconds, and when we cut back, all of a sudden it was a 3-way battle when it wasn't 30 seconds before. So
I looked at the timer and there was like 2 laps to go, and I looked at the clock. I was like, "Oh, that's all right. He's 3.5 seconds behind. I've got to worry about him. I'll concentrate on Bart." Go over the line on the last lap, look behind me, and he's there.
Yeah, that 3 seconds did disappear.
How did you
really
manage
quick.
that? Yeah.
But you seem to be driving really well, Josh, at the moment, and you're really consistent, and seem to be enjoying yourself. So yeah,
I am.
Yeah, that's good. It's good to hear. Good to see. You'll be your first long endurance with this league next week. I know you've done a fair amount of endurance racing. So is that something you're looking forward to?
Honestly, I prefer the sprints to the endurance. Actually,
yeah.
Just I don't know what it is about the endurance. Even though you can make more mistakes and not lose as much, it's really long, and when you're by yourself as well, it's just a different kind of race then.
Yeah, no, I get it, and from our point of view, we look at it at different perspectives, and of course the sprint races are hectic and entertaining, but the endurance races give us a completely different element, and we're looking for the excitement of pit stops and strategy and stuff. So it's horses for courses, isn't it? But you're never going to love it all, but as long as you're enjoying yourself, that's the main thing. But yeah, well done today. Like I say, that first race was epic to watch, and I'm sure you'll enjoy watching it back. But well done.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure. What have we got left? What have we got? Dan, you were just moving backwards a little bit in race 2 there, by the look of it. I mean, I think I caught you being overtaken quite a few times, so I apologise in advance if you watch the stream back. But the McLaren looks like it's just really struggling this season at times in all the drivers' hands, and I think that's probably why not many people have got it. But how did you find it?
I'm just not getting on with it. I just can't get it to turn in how I like it to, without the back end being too loose. So it's a compromise of stability over losing it. Race 2, I always expect to go backwards. There's too many quick people, especially when 10 people get picked out at random.
Yeah, it was a little cruel, and no, Adam didn't slip me a tenner before anybody says anything. But yeah, it was a little bit cruel. But yeah, to be fair, I empathise because I really struggle with that keeping the back stable without and then suffering too much understeer. But that's because I have no talent. That's why I'm in the comms box. But because you've been in the McLaren for a while, haven't you? So I mean, have you considered switching to another car?
This is the first season in it, to be
fair.
fair.
Is it? I thought you were in the McLaren before. I apologise.
No, Porsche was before.
Of course you were. Yeah, you were in the Porsche. Yeah. I'm talking nonsense.
I've used it in sprint races. Just it's a bit worse at the minute.
Yeah.
I had a massive hissy fitty with it, didn't I, at Spa, and that's why I decided to swap.
Yeah. Well, I can promise you, you're still better off than if you were in the Porsche, because I'm in the Porsche for the sprints, and it's bloody dreadful. But yeah, I mean, like I say, it's as long as you enjoy yourself, that's the most important thing. That's why we're all here in it, to have fun and have a good time. But
that's it, yeah.
Yeah, but better luck next week, and a long one next week. So hopefully that stable sort of. Steady and stable will suit you well for the endurance, and pick them off as they all make mistakes around you.
Hopefully,
that's the plan.
They will.
Well, best of luck for next week, but
thank you.
You're welcome, Matty. Great race one.
Good evening.
Great race one. Was it 7th or 8th? I can't remember now off the top of my head.
8th in the end.
Yeah. Sorry, so much has happened, and between the systems crashing and everything, my mind's gone and could turn to complete soup. But yeah, great race. Looked really nice and stable. Looked like you were having good fun out there as well, picking people off a couple of times as well. Yeah, take us through it.
Yeah, it was really good. I mean, first off, apologies to Dan. Potentially part of the reason why he was going backwards in race 2 is because he got mullered by a Lamborghini on the first or second lap. So I firstly apologise for that. I went into the corner, braked at a normal point, and it just carried on going. So I mullered him. I don't know how many positions he dropped. But yeah, race 1, I loved it. Absolutely loved it. I was right up Rich's backside for the majority of the race, which is always a pleasure. Yeah, it was brilliant racing, like just bumper to bumper. Really enjoyed it, and then I saw him drop it, and I was gutted because I was really enjoying the racing, but at the same time, I was grateful that I got the place. And then I could see Scott closing me down, and it felt good. I was just sort of in a groove. I think I was setting fairly consistent lap times and just keeping it on track and keeping it going. And I could see Scott come in, and then I managed just to hold him off just before the final. The final lap and the finish. So loved race 1, not so much race 2.
Yeah, like I said, it was hectic, and there was so much going on. What specifically did you get caught up in?
So it was me. There was a few of us, and I wasn't even going for a move. I think I was slightly offline just so I could make sure that I could see the corner. It was the right hander towards the end of the lap after you come round and sort of back up the hill a bit. And it was into that right hander where you can't take the curb because it'll launch you. But yeah, slightly offline so I could see the corner, and I got on the brakes, and it just carried on going. And it was either just muller into like 3 people in front of me, or try and just skip across the inside of the corner completely and hope that I avoid them all. But caught Dan as he was turning into the corner. And yeah, I was lucky it didn't damage me too much, but it did drop me right down to the back. But I don't know really how much damage it caused Dan and how many issues it caused him. But the rest of that race, I was just sort of trying to get back in the right mindset, just because I hate making contact with anyone. It really gets to me.
Yeah. I feel really, you on that one.
Yeah, it sort of gets in my head, and I'm just like, I need to concentrate back on the race and the track. And I managed to catch up and managed to overtake McGee in the Jag, which I'm not going to take too much credit for because it's a Jag. So it's probably less my skill and more the fact that it's a difficult car. But yeah, I like the end of it because I managed to catch up and do some racing, but the contact wasn't great.
Yeah, I mean, did you kind of just try and take the positives when you got 2 races? Your one great race, one not so great race. Did you just kind of try and look, I've had one great race. Let's take that as a win and move on.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like I said before, I'm aiming for top 10s again this season, and I'm getting them in places as much as I'm making mistakes and dropping back in some. I'm getting top tens, which is what I'm aiming for. So, yeah, concentrate on race one and take the positive.
Yeah, well, like I say, well done. It was a great drive for that race one. So we'll look forward to seeing you next week.
Brilliant, thank you.
Alan, that beard is looking fantastic, my friend. I love it.
Yeah, man.
It's getting there. It's not quite to mine and Adam's level yet, but it's coming along. Frustrated?
Honestly, no. I didn't really have the pace this week.
Okay.
It wasn't really there. The difference a week can make. Seems to be on quite a pan at the moment. Strong week, bad week, strong week, bad week. It was absolute carnage out there from what I saw. I think the stewards are going to be busy this week. Race one, I was actually doing quite well. I had one of my normal good starts, managed to stay out of trouble and pick up a few places. Was running a decent position for me. A bit like Matt just said, the goals are top 10s for me. That's what I'm trying to get to. And I wasn't far from it. Tyres started to go in the second half of the race and had a driver putting a lot of pressure on me. Wasn't surprised when the contact came. So I didn't think they'd hit their quota for their normal contacts for this race, so got turned round. And that was that for that race. Tyres had gone, slipped again towards the end and let down through. Race 2, terrible qualifying. Again, pace just wasn't there. I just felt in race 2, my pace wasn't too bad, as in I was doing 18s, which I appreciate is a couple of seconds off the leaders, but just felt every single corner I was going into, I assumed I was about 10 seconds off pace because I just had cars swarming all over me. And a couple of bits of contact came from that. And yeah, it just didn't click together. Not disappointed, because if I'd been doing 15, 16s all night, then I would have been disappointed. But, I kind of finished where I deserved to finish, if I'm honest. So on to Silverstone next week, which hopefully will be a bit better and a bit stronger.
Yeah, I mean, it's a track, having driven the Honda for a bit, it is a track that the car will suit. And it can make or break your season, this endurance race, can't it? With double points, keeping it consistent, just you can gain 5 positions just by keeping it on the black stuff, and with double points on offer, that could really make a difference to you this season.
Yeah, and I think it'll suit my driving style as well, where you've nailed it with consistency. Being such a big track, it's 2 minutes a lap around there, so we're going to be quite spread out.
Yeah.
Totally the opposite to this week. Big long race. It kind of fits my stay consistent, stay out of trouble approach. I say stay out of trouble. I rarely do it, but yeah. So hopefully it'll work out next week. I'm looking forward to next week.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really entertaining. I'm really looking forward to it. And yeah, well, like I say, I'm glad you're not disappointed and seeing the light, as it were. But yeah,
it's always fun. Always fun.
It's always fun. As long as you're battling with someone, it doesn't matter where you finish. That's always been my attitude. If you're driving around on your own for 5 hours, then obviously it's slightly different. But that was us at Mazzano, but that was mostly my fault. But anyway, thank you very much, everyone. I think that is the end of tonight's proceedings. So thank you very much for joining us. Just bear in mind, if you're watching this one, the start of the stream is on a different video because of the glitch in the middle. My Streamlabs decided to crap its pants, so apologies for that, but do go back and watch the start of race 1 on that video if you get the chance. Thanks again to all our drivers, thanks to my co-coms Aaron, thanks to all our sponsors, thanks to everybody, thanks. But it's been a pleasure as always, and we'll be back for next week's long endurance race at Silverstone. Really excited about this. It always gives us a really entertaining evening, so I'm really looking forward to that, and we'll see you